We should have one of those little clippy things.
Right? Cut 1, cut 2. How many was this? 23? Welcome to the Creatures Cortex podcast, mother cluckers. David, how's your day been?
Not bad. I didn't have to work today, so I couldn't ask for a more awesome day than that, right?
Spectacular. All right, well, let's get right into it and talk about some local music. I don't even like music, so you go ahead and start it off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for the Blacktooth Grin show, and I'm still stoked on our Flesh God Apocalypse show. I cannot believe we got to see them on the stage we played on.
That's a shredder. Yeah, a great small venue. Not small in a bad way. Like I love
Intimate.
I love smaller venues because no matter where you are, you're in a good spot all the time.
Yeah, especially the back.
Yeah,
where the band hangs out, where you could hang out with the band at a half pipe.
Right?
Yeah, or you could play video games. It's pretty sick. Thank you, Justin Cantrell. By the way, huge shout out to you, my dude. Yeah, we are huge fans of what you do and very thankful for you.
And always have been. He's been a part of the music scene for a very long time, as long as I've been in it. For what, 17 years or something now?
Let's just call it 2 decades.
It's been a while. The metal scene around here is really good. Lots of good bands. Couldn't even name them all. We of course we know, a few that's been around for a very, very long time. Karen Comes Killing, Mortal Ashes, Blacktooth Grin, and a slew of others.
Let's not forget TMS Destroyer. Have you heard those guys?
Yes, I think I know a few of those cretins.
Oh, you've had beers with them, you say?
Yeah. Eventually, we're going to get our song intro in. We've been working on it, but the audio hasn't been excellent yet. So before we put that into the show, we're going to make sure we have it right.
Well, we are just starting out. We're just beginning this journey. It doesn't have to be perfect yet, of course.
Yes, we have lots of ideas coming, but we're going to start now, and just do it.
Well, we got some shows coming up.
I haven't seen a whole lot of shows.
No, local shows.
Other than the local stuff.
Yeah, we got them local shows coming up. One at the Knit.
Yeah, and one at the Shredder.
That'll be fun.
And everyone should go to both and support your local music. A lot of times it's way, I don't want to say cheap, but it's not as expensive to go to a big show, and you get really surprised on how amazing the local talent is.
True that. We do have some amazing musicians around here.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. It's funny that with the amount of musicians here, we have not been able to find a stable bass player.
It's a curse. Someone put a gypsy curse on us. That they summoned some demon from the other world and stuck them on us that we will never have a bass player. We've tried many. I guess we're just too rad for a bass player. Or maybe not. We just maybe really suck.
Yeah, either that or we suck too bad. And they're like, we'll pass.
Yeah, no, you're not good enough for us.
Everybody knows the bass is the foundation of the band.
I thought everyone knew that. Well, it is what it is. No, it's not held us back at all. It's true. We still jam hard. And our band, we just brought back TMS Destroyer from the underworld.
From the ashes.
Yep. And we're just about ready to go play some live shows. We've been really trying to tighten up, make sure everything is really good. I don't think we're ever going to be perfect. We're just going to have to find a point where we're like, all right, that's good enough. Let's go.
Yeah, we've been ready. We've definitely been ready. And
I know, I've been ready.
Yeah, we've been ready. It hasn't been from a lack of trying as to why we have not been playing shows.
No, it's life. Not everything goes smooth all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, life happens to all of us. That is a thing. Well, what bands have inspired you?
Well, that's a good question. There have been lots of bands from all across the music spectrum.
Okay, let's narrow it down then. Give me a metal band other than Metallica.
Well, I love Metallica.
Yeah,
all right.
Well aware. Give me another band that has been a big inspiration on you.
Okay, I'll have to shout out to like my first really metal band that I really started loving before I got more into the death metal and more extreme genres. But Amon Amarth,
Yeah,
yes,
that's brutal.
cannot say enough about that band. Their chugginess just makes me want to headbang every time.
Now it makes you want to row, as if you yourself were a Viking, sir.
Yeah,
Back in the golden age.
and pillage some villages,
Correct.
right? And terrorize the peasants.
That's right.
I would say the song that really like caught my attention though was "Pursuit of Vikings." That just has such a ripping riff, and it's all really done well. "Pursuit of Vikings"
Agreed.
by Amon Amarth. That was my introduction to them. And of course they have, I don't know, tons of albums now. I haven't even listened to them all, unfortunately. What about you?
Yes.
What kind of bands
As for your inquisition,
have inspired you, Chad?
Dimmu Borgir.
Oh no, I've never heard of this band.
Yeah, who are these demons from Norway, you say?
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely. I love them. I pretty much love everything that they've ever done. I really can't think of a song I dislike by them. Honestly, just thinking through.
What did you say is your favorite song by them?
Favorite song? So it's so hard to pick just a song because they have probably 250 songs. But some of the, I guess, most inspirational to me are where they have the full background choir and they're just going ham, right? You know, their guitar player's just always tongue out, going crazy.
The whole band is just great musicians.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just anyone where they're just have every member going off hard. I just love it. Gateways is an example.
I've watched the live version of that song so many times, and it just never ceases to just grab my attention. And there's even review videos on YouTube about it.
Of course.
Of that song in particular.
Of course.
But the lady that comes in doing the vocals, she's so dynamic. It just really kills the
yeah, the lady vocalist is sick.
Over the top awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Of course, another excellent one is In Trance. Gotta love it.
That's because we like playing it on guitar.
That is because we love the song.
That too.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Got to give a shout out to them. Most definitely.
All right. What other band has inspired you? If you have.
Well, probably like a Lamb of God.
Yeah.
A Lamb of God was pretty progressive for their time, getting together. I guess lyrical content, quality guitars. Same thing with like a Gojira, right? Just quality content from their guitar playing and the musicianship, all the way down to the lyrics that they use. Really sets it off for me for sure. One of my best memories from a concert. We've been to a lot. One of my best is, you'll know the reference, the merch guy holding up a sign to us and us telling him, hey, we can oblige, my friend.
Yeah, it was great. Like, we almost got to hang out with the band.
So close. Wouldn't that have been great? I guess it wasn't the right time.
Well, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, the time will come.
But it made a good story.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. We know it's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we have hung out with quite a few bands, especially after playing shows with them. And it's great. You know, you get to go and talk to them. And a lot of times they tell you how good you are. And I'm like, man, I suck. You are rad. And it always surprises me when other people think I'm like really good, or they're like giving me. It's hard to take compliments, right?
Yep. What's your favorite band that you've played with, whether you opened up or closed or whatever you did? Favorite you played with?
I guess there's so many. I'm just going to name the obvious one though. Dying Fetus.
Great choice.
Only in Idaho, in Boise, Idaho, can a little band like me get to open up for one of the world's best metal musicians or bands of all time. They're the best, and that was amazing. Our set got cut short because our drummer was taking too long setting up. You know, it's just one of those things you learn when you're younger. Is like gotta be on point with the setup and breakdown when you're playing gigs. It's
sure do.
Yeah, it's a tough
important
one.
part.
It's a tough one. You really got to be on top of it. have some friends if you can't do it all yourself, right?
Mhm. My favorite was most definitely playing with Ex
That
Mortis,
was
right?
such a good one.
Oh, dude,
Yes.
that was great. At the Shred, small little intimate venue, and we're sitting front crowd listening to Ex Mortis, squiddly wooing on the classical.
Yeah, it's such an amazing band. I got their T-shirt too while I was there.
Damn right.
Yes. Geez, that was such a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many to pick from.
There is a lot to pick from, and that's why the question posed is not an easy one.
All right. Okay. So on to movies. And there's a ton of movies that me and Chad love, and we want to talk about some of these classic movies and why we love them so much and what made them amazing, and the magic that Hollywood had in the eras that we were growing up without all the special effects. There were so many practical effects, and we really, I feel spoiled, quite honestly.
Back when Hollywood was great.
Yeah.
Back when Hollywood was great, it wasn't all CGI, and it wasn't all catering to any other ideal other than what that movie wanted to be about.
And they were producing a lot of original stories. Nowadays, we get a lot of remakes and stuff that was remade off of something that was great during our time.
Absolutely.
So the first movie we're going to talk about in episode 1 here is Big Trouble in Little China.
I never heard of it.
Yes, maybe you have. Jack Burton is extremely famous.
I guess so. I guess he has his own T-shirt out there.
Yeah. So Big Trouble in Little China was released on July 2nd of 1986, and I'm not sure if I've seen it in the theater at that time. Probably not. But I've only watched that movie, and there's only a few movies that I will watch over and over, but hundreds of times I feel like. And there's stuff I still learn about it today, honestly. Like the amazing background cast. I just recently was doing a deep dive and couldn't believe who was in the background.
Yeah, a lot of greats.
A lot of greats.
A lot of greats. Talk about the multiple gentlemen that also played in what was it? The Golden
Child.
Golden Child. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
And you were saying that there was another movie that they were both in at the same time.
Yeah, I believe so. I watched a thing on, I think it was either Netflix or Discovery Channel. And it was, or actually it might have been on TV. It might have been on Discovery or History TV. But it was about the John Carpenter movie and the Golden Child, the actors who were in the multiple movies. And I believe there was another one in that.
The amount of movies that he's done, and we could go off for a long time of all the John Carpenter movies.
Oh yeah, I could think of a thing or two.
Yeah. Hint, hint. So John Carpenter, the cast was Kurt Russell as Jack Burton, Dennis Dunn as Wang Chi, Victor Wong as Egg Shen, James Hong as David Lo Pan, Kim Cattrall as Gracie Law, Susie Pai as Miao Yin, Carter Wong as Thunder, Peter Kwong as Rain, James Pax as Lightning. So let's
first off, which is your favorite character?
What my favorite character?
Throughout the list, your number one. Could be background actor. Doesn't have to be old Jack Burton himself.
In my older age, I would say Egg Shen, but it was always Lightning because he was awesome. He had the lightning. Everyone wanted to be.
Not only did he have lightning, he inspired
Raiden off of Mortal Kombat.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the inspo. So, you still going with lightning now, or are you going to change your pick there?
No. Egg Shen is the man. He got the 60-man bag. Like, how you can't be any cooler than that.
True that. And he's always drinking.
Yeah.
He's always got crazy magic potions in his shop.
He always has like a martial arts gang with him.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
Yep. Good call. Okay.
Yeah, Egg Shen is the man. He owns a whole block.
Yeah, he does.
And he has secret underground tunnels with monsters.
I really like Gracie Law's character. She's hilarious. And then also, of course, Lo Pan. Lo Pan is just hilarious.
He was the man in that movie. And he's still the man today. When I watched videos of him at Comic-Cons, and he does the personality, the Lo Pan personality for his fans. He's really good at it.
Hell yeah, he just got his Hollywood star not too long ago.
Let's see, Lo Pan, James Hong. All right. And so James Hong is awesome. If you want someone cussed out, and I'm not sure what the language is, I would say Chinese, but that's probably not it.
They have Mandarin,
Mandarin,
Cantonese.
yes, yeah, Mandarin. That's probably one. But having him chew you out in Mandarin is awesome. I would pay him money to be like, chew me out, like tell me all the worst stuff, and get a video of that. That would be awesome. I'm sure he's had that request before.
Probably.
Right. Remember in Wayne's World?
I remember.
Yes. He was.
That was in the second one where he was the father.
The father.
Yep, correct. And Wayne has to fight him.
Oh yeah,
with,
that's right.
Dubbed over.
That's right.
Yep. That was the second one where he's going to marry Cassandra.
Cassandra. Oh yeah, another Mortal Kombat reference is Kerry Takagawa was a Wing Kong in the background, and I'd never noticed him there, but I want to watch it and see if I can find him. But he was also Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would not be surprised if, the Wang Chi character was directly linked to Liu Kang. I would not be surprised.
Right?
We could safely say the inspiration from Mortal Kombat.
They were fans of Big Trouble in Little China.
Probably one of the greatest games to date. Was most likely inspired by Big Trouble in Little China. It's got to be a cool movie, right?
Yeah. And so that's our shout out to movies on this podcast, and we'll talk about just other great movies as we go along.
Well, tell me this: what's a movie you watched recently? Just one.
A movie?
A movie that you watched recently.
Let me think about that for a second.
Well, I'll tell you mine. I know mine.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I just watched Ghostbusters, the new one, the Frozen one. Not a fan.
Didn't like it?
No, and it strangely has some of the older characters in it. Dan Aykroyd was in it. Yeah.
I think it relied too heavily on the CGI.
It did. Bill Murray was back.
It really kills the feeling of the movie when there's a lot of it.
I don't know. I just wasn't a fan.
And so, yeah, I've seen that one too.
Did you?
Yep. And it was unremarkable, I would have to say.
Yeah, so I see we're in a concurrence here, my friend.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what do you got then?
Well, I haven't been watching a whole lot of movies, quite honestly. I can't even think of the last movie I've sat down and watched, but I've been watching a lot of TV.
Okay, jump into it.
Which brings us to our next subject, and you were on this one.
Yeah, jump into it.
What have you...
Well, I've most definitely been checking out the old Naked and Afraid, of course. Watching that. I love that show. These goofy fools.
Haven't got into that, but I've watched one episode.
It's hilarious. You could tell there's a couple types of people in the world. The people who just go out there and make it happen, and the people who go out there and make excuses.
And die.
Well, I mean, you can't die on Naked and Afraid. They pull you out way before. You might start losing some hair and a tooth, but they'll get you before that, right?
The TV shows I've been watching here lately have been pretty cool. I just stumbled on Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix, and I watched one episode, and then I could not stop. I was binge watching. As soon as I got home from work, just put it on.
All right, Blue-Eyed Samurai, though.
Blue-Eyed
it's an
Samurai.
anime, obviously.
And then I'm binge watching Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, always. That's a lifelong passion, my friend.
Well, I so many good episodes, and I'm like, some of them are terrible. Don't get me wrong, but they had episodes that were dynamic. They had all kinds of relativity. They had emotional content and social, political, religious.
Technology.
Technology.
I still want to do our song about the Borg.
And the moral dilemmas that you could face with such technology, and we're going to experience some of these things here pretty soon.
Yep.
Like AI, for instance. When does that become an actual life? When do we consider something that's smart that we made? Does it have a conscience and a soul?
Well, what do you mean we?
Well, we're going to be the judges of that, obviously, because we created such a thing, and we're going to.
I guess I'll consider it a living entity because I use Grok on the X app. Grok is their version of AI, right? And one cool thing that I like to do with it is kind of treat it like a really smart person, and I'll plug in my info. X gives you analytics of who's been looking at your account, who likes your stuff, who comments on it, right? So I'll feed my analytics into Grok. I'll be like, hey, Grok, analyze this for me. I don't know how many other people use a computer to analyze their social media stuff.
Interesting.
But anyways, I told him, I was like, all right, Grok, give me a rating out of 100. And he gave me a 75 out of 100 for how well my account's doing. I was like, hey, that's pretty good.
So the last thing I kind of want to touch on the TV thing is, I am so sick of TV episodes being 10 episodes. Like, how do you even get into a really good story with just 10 episodes? It's like some accountant is like, you could only make 10 episodes because this is how much money we're going to give you, and they have it all like divvied out. And so a lot of the TV series from our days past, they had like 30 episodes for a season or more, right? And now we get 10.
Yeah, how many did the original Ninja Turtles show have? Like 50?
Or a Batman animated series,
right?
or Alf,
Ah, great. Give me your cat.
And all those great television shows, they had more than just 10 episodes. I feel like we're getting really cheap, service from our entertainment providers. I want more than just 10 episodes.
We'll come up with something then. Put it out there.
I guess we're
Don't
just
just
going to
talk
have
about
to
it, be about it.
Writers, directors, and actors, and filmers, and all that ourselves, right?
Yeah, let's get into video games, dude. You've been scrimming?
I think I went through the game again
what a surprise.
last year as an archer. Of course, I love my archery.
Archer, huh?
Yep.
Dude, I've been loving playing as like a warlock and just getting all the undead. Like,
just sending minions after everyone.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's been fun. That and potions.
But no, I haven't been scrimming, but I have been getting into Mortal Kombat 1.
Nice.
Which is...
Explain yourself.
Yes, and so they had it on sale on my Nintendo Switch, so I got it and played all the story mode and then the downloadable content story mode, and super good. The character development was amazing, and today actually I just got to play like one of my favorite characters of all time, Conan the Barbarian, on Mortal Kombat, which I couldn't be more jazzed about that.
Sick.
Yep, all his special moves are really good.
So they have a couple Arnold characters on Mortal Kombat then, because I know they have the Terminator on there.
Yep.
That was on what, 10 or 11?
They have the T2 guy. Looks like it's coming. I can't play him. Maybe I have to buy him or something. But yeah, there's been lots of Schwarzenegger stuff. I mean, he's only been in a gazillion movies and so many classic characters to his name. Yeah, I was just stoked that Conan the Barbarian. What could I say?
Camera can't see it. We need it full screen.
No, they can see that. Only the cool ones can.
True that.
All right, so and I've been playing the little $2 game called Shadow Ninja, and it's been highly entertaining. It's a Metroidvania type game, side scroller, super fun. So what have you been playing, Chad?
I've been playing a game called Asgard's Wrath. It's on the VR system, the MetaQuest 3S. Just got it for the kids. Got 2 of them.
The VR has been amazing.
It's pretty fun. Definitely got to limit the kids' time on it, right? And I don't know if they intentionally did this or unintentionally did it, but when you have the volume all the way up, the brightness all the way up, and you're jamming through a game, you get about half an hour of gameplay, and the battery dies.
Oh.
That's just about the perfect time of playing that VR before it starts giving you headaches, messing with your eyes, and then you're walking through the world and everything's fuzzy and in a weird box, right?
Yeah, well, I've been waiting for like the glasses to come out with augmented reality.
Apparently that's soon.
And phones that I could just strap to my wrist and because they have bendable screen and.
Yeah, I'll pass. That reminds me of Johnny Mnemonic. You remember Johnny Mnemonic?
I love that movie.
What was he fighting?
He was fighting the corporation
that caused the virus that did what? that
Yep.
they had a cure for.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So many movies like that.
I love the laser finger.
Yeah, right.
Right?
It pulls out the nail. Great way to chop your leg off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
It's like a lightsaber.
It's got seepage.
Yeah, that's fun. So
Hey, Street Preacher.
yeah, any other video games you've been playing?
Well, I mean, sometimes I'll play the old fork knife with the kids. You know, it's funny to me. If you want to, not that you want to learn the lingo, but if you want to understand what these little dipshits are saying, a real good way is to play a couple rounds of fork knife with them. Because you'll hear, let me cook chat all day long, right? They're just saying the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny. The kids really like it. One of the things that they did was they had all the Avengers characters, Doctor Doom and all this, and they had the whole map set up of it, and you used Avengers weapons.
That's cool.
Anyways, that was kind of a cool update that they did, but then it went back to like the Stone Age, like OG Fortnite. And I just really wasn't a fan of Fortnite when it came out. When it came out, that Call of Duty Blackout was so much cooler.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the same exact game,
I missed
dude.
the Blackout.
It got sold to like all the companies, and they all made their own version.
No, I kind of gotten out of first-person shooters. I've
Same.
just played so many of them.
Yeah, I still love zombies though.
And of course,
I'll play zombies till the day I die, boy.
Yes.
Raised my kids on that. It's just like life. There's no beating it.
I haven't even got the PlayStation 5 because it was just PlayStation 4.5 in my mind.
It wasn't even that. It still just played PlayStation 4 games. It's still a 4.0. 6 is coming out soon, though.
Yeah, 6 is coming
On
out.
the way.
I'm like, you haven't even done anything with 5 yet. It must not have been that great of a system.
It's quicker.
Yeah,
it's a quicker version.
They're dumping out the consoles before they're actually having any game development. And of course, they're expecting these games to be so over the top with the graphics that it's hard to get them developed in a timely manner. So they have to take years to do it.
Yep. It's strange that the Laserdisc wars are almost over. You could start buying consoles that don't even have the disc drive in it. You don't even need it anymore, right? It's all downloadable games. Yep. I don't love that. I love having a hard copy, especially with like CDs where you can burn it and you can keep that hard copy safe and then keep the dummy disc that you just burned in a CD sleeve. And if that gets scratched, toss it in the just throw it away.
You sound like a PC player.
Okay, some local sports that I'd kind of like to talk about is a strange thing happened to our area, right? We had a running back this year named Ashton Genty. Amazing running back. He was up for the Heisman Trophy, and he lost out on the Heisman Trophy, knowing full well, I don't know, but I'd assume a lot of the country would agree with me that Ashton Genty's season deserved that Heisman. He was spectacular. He was so explosive. The dude is so fast. Like he's running. He runs into the O&D line, and he's just out through a hole. And he's just so explosive. It was crazy to watch. It was great to watch.
Well,
definitely deserved a Heisman.
Maybe he didn't grease the right pockets.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But that was definitely a steal that we got stolen from us here in Boise. We've had great football teams, great football players, a lot of local boys. It's been a great organization. One thing I would like to do is go talk to some of our BSU guys.
Yeah.
Right? I got a cool picture at that game, at the last game, with my son Cade, with their center.
For real.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it would be nice to get some of the college people on our show sometime in sports and science and anything else interesting going on. You know, once we are rolling down the road a little bit more on this thing, we could start reaching out to a wider group of people, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. You have anyone that we want on, like people that write books, whatever we're interested in.
Scientists.
Yeah, politicians. Anyone that we want could get on here that wants to talk.
I want to get some of these MMA guys on here.
Yeah, right.
I would love to talk to some of these fighters, see what their inspiration was, see if they're from here, if they're not from here, see why they're fighting at the Front Street fights. I think that'd be cool.
That would be really cool, and we really like the Front Street fights. I support those guys. I think I've been to 4 of them so far in a row, and I intend on going to every single one if
available.
I can. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I support that.
One thing about Idaho that I've always taken pride in this is how nice we are here.
Hmm.
I've had a lot of people tell me, "This is crazy. You wave to your neighbor, you're talking to people, interacting with your community." Well, yeah, that's what we do here. We're not shut off from our community. We're not scared that our neighbor is a robber who's only got ill intent. We're not scared that there's going to be a shooting, right?
Yeah.
That's not a thing that happens here. We are a really safe, interactive community who stays in touch with each other, helps each other out.
I do got to agree. The people up here are some of the nicest people. Maybe we shouldn't tell the people this. Don't come to Idaho. It's the worst place in the world.
Well, there's really no point to lie, because whether we say it or not, there's already been a mass exodus to here.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the few remaining cheap places that is still accessible to the majority as compared to like Appalachia, where it's cheap, but it's not as accessible.
Well, our taxes aren't crazy either. I'm sure property prices are not as inflated as some places. Yeah, and plus the weather's great here.
No, it's not. It's freezing cold.
Right now it is.
Dude, so many people can't handle it. I love it. That's
Yeah.
one thing I love about framing outside.
Hmm.
Like, this beautiful Idaho weather, boy, let's build a house in it.
Yeah, but you were born in North Idaho, so
Yeah, true that.
that stuff is in your blood.
I am from the frigid north, but I don't really think that's it. I just love being outside. I've always known that. I've always known I got a hankering for the pankering outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I can't sit in an office. Can't work at a Whack Arnold's. I'm not doing the old disc job. It's just not for me.
That's right. Yeah, that's why you got an outside job.
Mm-hmm.
Fits your personality.
Yeah, you've seen it in action. I'll go wild up on them walls.
Oh yeah.
Running on crane day.
No, you got crazy ninja balance. I will not argue with that.
Yeah.
Yep. You have me top there. I could not do what you do, sir.
Oh, it's great.
Yep.
Watching people get up on them walls and freeze up. I got you trained though, dude. You were doing so good. Once you got the feel to it and you understood where your footing lies and where you can and cannot walk, it became simple and you got way better at it.
Yep.
I mean, that's just how I feel. I've just done it for so long. I know where I can walk and where I can't walk.
Well, I've never been deathly afraid of heights, but I've definitely had a decent respect for them. So,
and that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with
what
that.
in the political world have you been paying attention to on like the world scale?
Well, all of it. One thing that really pisses me off right now is our lack of ability to use geothermal here. One of our huge benefits of living in Idaho is we have some of the most geothermal pockets in the world.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot springs and all kinds of stuff like that up here.
Now, this tech is old, dude. This tech it's not new, right? It's just within the last little while, it's became something that's inaccessible to a lot of people, which is strange because it's a one-time investment to get the setup and the manifold to run everything. And then you got hot water for life, right? Like if you wanted to grow lemons and oranges and citrus here in our area, you do it by geothermal, right? Tent your area off, geothermal it, right? We grow whatever here. We're just not allowed to. We're not allowed to tap into the geothermal. So that's one thing. That's not new, but that's one thing that'd be bugging me.
There is a lot of regulation that really blocks
red
progress, and it's one thing I think the Trump guy is hitting on a lot is there's too much regulation, too much red tape. It's clogging up any progress. You want to start a business, it's almost impossible, and the regulations are out of control, and that's a sickness. You really got to make it realistic. Of course, we're not trying to damage the planet, or anyone should be damaging our planet or environment, but there got to be like some realistic expectations laid out. So sorry I cut you off.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's things that I'm not happy with in our politics is how blatantly clear it is that for a long time our tax dollars that we pay to the government is most likely getting squandered on things that we, the people, do not taxpayer money. We're going to the Middle East to give money to other people. Now, whether it's 5 million or 50 billion, I don't really care.
Is that real?
That's real. Go ahead and check it up. Anyways, any money, tax money, that is being taken in by our government should go to the people in North Carolina who went through Hurricane Helene and they still have no place to live. I hate to say it, but the California people who just went through the crazy wildfires, they at least need somewhere to live, right? Not saying that
Yeah, a lot of people were displaced,
a lot of people have been
and
displaced. Same
they're
with the
not
Maui
they're not
fires.
going to be able to rebuild there for a long time because of the California regulations. It was already almost impossible to build a house there as it is, and you hear tons of people talking about it online. I feel bad for those people because California isn't really going to help them out. I don't feel like their heart's not into it. I
Yeah,
mean, they didn't even take care of the proper prevention.
we'll see. Trump just flew. Um, I want to say it was either the Army Corps of Engineers or maybe the National Guard, but he just flew him into California to get the water running instead of diverting it through the Pacific Ocean.
Hmm.
So it's no longer running off into the ocean to save the little sardine guy.
Yeah, they need to fill their
Instead,
dams.
it's going to where it should be.
Hmm.
So that just happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to fix in the political world.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not politicians. We're just regular guys, and we're just like, come on, let's focus on the real things here.
Yeah, the real issues.
Mm-hmm.
We probably definitely don't need to focus on small little petty details of things. Let's fix what we can in the real issues
You know what really
that are plaguing
benefits
us.
the human population.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move out of that because politics makes me sad.
Yeah, damn politics. All right, well, get into books then.
Okay, all right, books.
Can you read?
Sometimes, I don't know. It depends on the book. Sometimes I pick up a book and I'm just like, this is
Tomfoolery.
wizard spells, and so it's too complicated, right? So, no, what books have you been reading, Chad? You been into anything here lately?
Well, I was reading a Nat Geo book. It was about ancient Egypt. I was just going through that. The strange thing about the older books, right,
Mhm.
is they're not fully caught up to everything that's been going on. Like Dr. Zahi Hawass over in Egypt is constantly combing through the deserts with his workers when he can and uncovering new stuff, making new finds, right? I don't know if you watch Expedition Unknown. Heard of it?
I've seen some episodes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Okay, so Josh goes over there and hangs out with him sometimes on his new explorations when he's about to crack one open, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading a book about that, and I mean, they all have the good general knowledge and stuff, but yeah, that's one I was trying to get through.
Nice.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see some entropy going on, where we harness the power of a star and use that. Now that'd be some sci-fi shit. We don't even need batteries, bro. We
Well,
use entropy.
It'd be we're a long ways off from building a Dyson sphere.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We'll get there one day.
So, I've been reading 47 Laws of Power,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't got too far into it. My friend recommended it, and I looked it up online. And it was only like a $15 book or something. I was like, cool. I was expecting this little bitty book, and it's a big, massive, thick book, but so far,
She's a thick bitch.
really good read. I've been enjoying it, and I wouldn't say I agree in everything in it so far, but it has makes a lot of good points, and it's philosophical.
Sounds like the Art of War to me.
It is a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then I also got a couple other reads going on, but I'm really overwhelmed myself with 4 books. I need to just boil it down to one book at a time because there's no way I want to read all 4 books at once. So, I got the Exorcist going on. I have this other book that the Joe Rogan podcast recommended. It's like Food of the Gods or something. And I've just read like a chapter, and I'll get into that soon.
Have you started fasting yet?
No, I've heard some fun things about fasting.
I love fasting, dude. I've done it for a long time. Now, coming from a weird, super strict Christian family, my grandpa, my mom's father, super devout. He has pretty much lived by the dietary standards, don't eat a bunch of sugar, don't be drinking soda all the time, try to keep your temple clean, fast. And dude, he's like 92 years old right now in a time where you could barely make it to 60.
That's good.
Right? 92 years old. That's pretty old. I'm not saying that's the answer, of course, and I'm not saying that you gotta fast to live or anything like that. I'm just saying this is an observation that I've made. Is my grandpa's been pretty darn strict throughout his life.
Well, how often does he fast?
He does it once a week.
Really?
And then, yeah, the once a week for it's all day, and I believe it's all day Sunday that he does it. And then once a month, he'll do the multi-day, like the 3 or 4 day or whatever. The real autophagy starts happening after multiple days of fasting. It's not like your first day where you go on like a 16-hour fast, just the one day that you're awake, right? And the autophagy starts happening. It's after multiple days of not allowing yourself to eat and just consuming water that the miracles start to happen.
I don't think I could do that. I'm not that disciplined. I love my food too much.
Takes discipline, just like cold baths take discipline, right?
That's another one. I could do the sauna, right? I could do hot, but I grew up in a hot climate, so I think I'm more acclimated to that. When it comes to cold, I am a pussy.
Yeah, but did you die?
Not yet. One of these days.
True that. All right, well, let's get into motorsports. Do you even like cars? I like that motorcycle.
I love all vehicles. I don't like working on them. I do love driving them, and I'm a good driver. I've been driving clutch all my life. I actually seen a old green GMC truck the other day. And I was like, that's the truck I learned how to drive growing up.
Square body.
Oh man, yeah, the old GMC Sierra, and kind of missed it. It was such a beast.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to drive.
They're fun.
Yeah, but now I'm driving my like brand new Jeep, and it's a totally different ride. And also got a dirt bike here recently called KLX 300. Straight dirt bike, no lights. They didn't want it. It's not for the street. This is straight dirt play.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like going out and camping a lot. So I was like, I need a bike so I could explore better, really like feel the entire area, because there's no modality, nothing now that's going to get you around better than a dirt bike. Your quad isn't going to do it. There's just nothing better.
Agreed.
Love my dirt bikes. What about you? What have you been? What kind of motorsports you've been working on?
Oh yeah, of course I've been tinkering on my Lexus.
Yeah,
love that little toy.
Always love those Lexuses.
Yeah, I love my Lexus. It's quite nice. Got every option you could ever want. Plus, I don't know, they're not a super complicated car.
Yeah. One
cool thing that Lexus did is they put some forged internals in their motor. Now, what that means is instead of a cast iron part, like we just pour the iron in a mold and we get the part, right?
Yeah.
Forged parts are heat treated parts, so they're probably a million times stronger.
Oh, really?
It's what any of your blades are. If you're familiar with forged in fire or anything like that.
So they shape the metal and then they
no.
harden it, or?
Well, yes, but same kind of process, but a little bit different, right? It's the forging of it the heat treating of it to harden it, right? It's a special way of doing it. So Lexus put heat treated parts in some of their motors. Well, my car, right? More specifically, my IS 300. Yep, the 2JZ inline 6 has, what was it? I want to say the crankshaft is what's forged on there. But yeah, I've been tinkering with my Lexus a little bit. Don't really know the direction I want to take with it. I think I'm going to do a little bit of body work on it and get a good paint job on it.
Yeah.
Because there's some dents and dings in it. Got some wrong fender, wrong hood.
This isn't the same Lexus that one guy backed into.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes. I bought that back from the insurance and put a new front end on it.
That was a funny.
That was a day that drunk dude backed into my car, and then he tried to
blame it on you.
Not only that, but he tried to get me to take a little payout. He was trying to get around the system. And not only did he try to get around the system, I even would have helped him out. And I said, okay, yeah, this isn't a Honda that you backed into, bro. The shop is going to be about $10,000 to repair the damage. So your insurance is going to be paying out some cash.
And that's why
if you want to buy me a new car, a new Lexus like that, I will definitely take it. But he wanted to keep my blue one, and I wasn't having that. I was like, no. I'm not giving you my car to get another one. You backed into my shit. You pay because I found one for $1,500. I was like, you pay this $1,500, get me this car right here, and you're scot free. He chose not to do it that way, and I got a $6,000 payout from it because we went through the insurance in the end.
Yeah,
He didn't want to play ball with himself.
It was probably not his first run around with the insurance company.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yep, shady builder, fresh from California, with his son being the job site supervisor, didn't know anything. They constantly asked us questions that were just silly, trying to ask about things that were way ahead. They tried to talk to you and to Jay.
Yeah, I was about as fresh as I could be at that job, too.
Why would you ask the people who can't read a tape measure what's going on?
Yeah, dude, I looked at the plans, and it looks like mathematics and science to me. I'm like...
Yeah, you talk to the boss or the supervisor on site from the construction company, not the rookies.
No.
You don't ask them the questions because they don't know, bro.
Well, I'm smart enough. I'll just be like, you got to go ask that guy.
Yeah, you were good about that. You just pointed fingers.
That's right.
Don't stop cutting, just point.
Yep. I'm busy here.
Yeah.
Go bother the boss.
Good cut, guy. All right, well, that's probably enough in motorsports. The only other thing I'm doing is messing around with my Chevy hub, but that's boring. Everybody's changed the Chevy hub. The old 6-lug, fur.
I ain't got nothing going on with motors besides my motorcycle, which is brand new. I haven't even broke it in yet. I'm ready for spring to roll around.
Hell yeah!
So let's move on to local food, and let's talk about local food. Man, there's so much good local food in this area because Boise area is the most populated area, in Idaho.
It is the number one,
yeah.
Correct.
And so we got a good selection of restaurants to choose from, and everything from sushi to steak and anything you can think of.
I enjoy our taco trucks.
I've always enjoyed taco trucks, but when you find a good one, it's hard to go to any others.
True that.
Yeah.
Our loyalty has been bought and paid for. But you know what? We met that one guy. We met that one guy out in Ontario. Who has his little taco truck set up right off the freeway. His food is amazing. I actually talked to him the other day.
Yeah,
I stopped in and got a burrito. Jess and I were there at Wingers gambling because they have the slot machines. So we were there playing slots. We had fun. I won. She didn't.
Well, let's talk about our favorite taco truck in this area, Tacos Aguilia.
Yeah. Good job, Whitey.
Yeah, over in Nampa. What street is it on?
11th Avenue.
11th Avenue. So this place is banging. They have a little restaurant in the front. And then 2 taco trucks in back.
One taco truck in the back that's always open for like the smaller dish, burrito, taco, sopas, whatnot. And then one of them's a catering truck. So that one will go to your events, go to your wedding, go to your parties, go to your concert.
Yep. So we always go to the taco truck and back. And these ladies cook some of the best food that you could ask for. It is amazing every time. All the meat's perfectly seasoned and the rice isn't, overdone. And I always have the steak burrito with some avocado because that's just what I like to eat. And Chad, I think you kind of like skip around on the menu a bit.
I do. One thing I love is I'll get a couple tacos, and I get the cabeza tacos. I love the cabeza meat for a taco. It's a little bit greasier, right? I love that for tacos. And then for the burritos, I pretty much do the same. I'll do a asada burrito with a little bit of avocado on it. I like a little bit of fresh crema on it.
Yeah.
Right? That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been, obviously doing the super burrito, getting the big dog, because the little one just does not cut it.
Man, the super burrito is too much. And it's
good for you.
I got a big belly. You got to be really hungry to eat the whole super burrito.
Yeah, true that.
That's a good one if you want to eat half the burrito now and half the burrito later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True that.
So the other place I kind of want to talk about is Island Sushi here in Boise off of Fairview. And if we have time, I want to go over there before our fight on Friday.
Okay.
And go have some sushi. The prices are amazing. The one roll I get is like $12 and change, and it comes out, and I just couldn't ask for a better sushi. And I've been to a lot of sushi places. Some of them have these overexpensive rolls, and you get a roll out, and you're just underimpressed. This is like the very opposite. It's really good price, and the chefs there are amazing. They're doing a great job. So it's sort of a secret place. It's not. You would be able to drive by this place without noticing it. So it's sort of a place that if someone didn't take you, you probably wouldn't know about. So we're going to have to take you So you know.
Are you missing being a sushi chef?
Oh, there's the days like I miss the chef life, but no, no, I don't. It was a great job for a good portion of my life, but I had to move past that because it's not a good career.
It's not a good career. It's great skills to learn, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told all my children this because they've all, I don't have any young kids anymore. They've all asked me, well, Dad, what do you think? What do you think we should do? What do you think? What do you think I should do for work? And blah blah blah. And I just always tell them, look, children, every job that you get as you're growing up, just use it for what it is. If it's a learning experience, use it for a learning experience. If it's an actual career path, then use it for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just do your due diligence and learn the skills that you need to learn.
Yeah, and develop yourself. Can actually really, I think people really need to try to get into jobs that really you're never going to be happy. As a job is a job. It's always going to have times it sucks, but there's jobs that suck less, and you really kind of got to figure out what your natural skills are, so you find yourself in a job that isn't going to drive you nuts or you're going to be miserable all the time. And trust me, you're going to have jobs like that. Everyone has. At least most normal people have. Rarely a person finds a job that's just great.
Unless you're super open-minded and you understand the assignment. I'm here to make money or I'm here to learn a skill. That's how I just kind of treat it. I've never minded whatever job I'm working. I just always kind of find the bright side in it. But most definitely my favorite so far has been construction. I just love it. Just because it's a different breed of people that does construction. It's not whiny sissy babies.
It's a bunch of savages, man.
It's a bunch of savages who
I've seen it.
Pretty much drop down to
it's
fight.
It's a bunch of cavemen that know how to use rulers and saws.
Yeah. What's your favorite part from the job site?
Oh, it wasn't scrapping out, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. My back hurts, boss.
We're picking up multiple sheets of, these big ass heavy sheets.
No, that's good. You're at a gym. You're getting paid to be at a gym. Man up and carry that goddamn lumber. You're getting paid for it.
Yes. I was actually looking pictures back then when I was working in construction. I was looking pretty cut up from that job.
Yeah.
But it was really hard. I'd come home from work and I'd literally pass out on the couch because I was that exhausted. Mm-hmm. So it quite honestly wasn't the job for me. Like, you started young, so by the time you're this age, you're not working as hard. Your mind isn't working as hard. You know what's going on. You're not questioning yourself. You're not worried about your cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm not carrying the heavy beams. Yeah. You ladies are carrying the heavy beams, and I'm nailing it together, bro.
That's right. You get the smart work because you got the brains for it. So I really think that, if you're going to get into that field, start young.
Yeah.
Because it's really physical.
I would actually advise a lot of children, before they decide that they want to go code and they want to be a YouTuber and they want to be all this social justice warriors and all these goofy things that kids want to be. Yeah, influencers. All these goofy things that kids want to be. Dude, I'll tell you what. One thing, as a young man, just speaking to the young men right now, as a young man, there will come a time where you ask your girlfriend or wife to make you food. And she's going to ask you, can you build me a house? Right? And if your answer is no, I cannot build you a house.
That's a huge different an exchange there.
Yeah, like, it is.
Yeah, I can build a house. Can you build me a sandwich?
Exactly. Hey, it's only fair, right? It's only fair to me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So if you can't build your lady a house, do you deserve the sandwich? So I'd advise all young men, it's not a bad thing to go into construction. It's not a bad thing to learn how to do the concrete work, to get your foundation out, do the framing to build the structure of your house, learn some roofing, learn the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, all these little trades, right? Learn them because it's a skill you could use in the future.
When you go to own a house, you're going to understand your house a lot better.
You sure will.
Yeah, and that's important. Because when I first bought my house, I didn't know much about anything about house ownership. It was all new to me, and the maintenance of a house and how it's built and all that. So,
point comes to mind, the painter you guys had over here.
Not the best.
Yep. And I remember I had just talked to you, and then the next day I came over, and you guys were like, "Hey, you want to help?"
So, well,
work the trades and you do construction, because you know what? we make more money than most people out there.
Heck, South Park's just made a whole movie, and it was like gagging on that particular theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like the construction workers were like the mega money makers because no one had those skills anymore.
Not only do they not have the skills, they just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to go outside in the elements. I've heard this multiple times within the last week even. I don't want to go outside and work because it's cold. It's called dress for the occasion, dude. If you got to put an extra pair of pants on, do it. Get your ass outside and make money.
I like working in the elements, quite honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
One thing that I've always kind of felt is it makes you stronger as a person when you're out there sludging in the elements and you're going through a hard day, but you make it, right? You're like, okay, nobody died on the job site. I didn't shoot a nail into my hand. I made it. It just makes me feel stronger and tougher each time I have to go through a trying experience. And that's what we should be doing. We're not supposed to just sit on a couch and chill and do nothing with our lives. We're supposed to challenge ourselves and grow.
Those last few weeks of construction with you were a challenging experience, and they're not even going to talk about it because it was a wreck.
Yeah, true that. Hey, I'm not saying monkey business doesn't happen, but monkey business happens everywhere you go.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. That's true. No matter what job you're going to get, you're going to get goofballs, and weird stuff happens, and it's just life. Nothing goes smoothly at all, ever. Always expect interruptions and interference and resistance.
Yep.
And if you're not expecting it, then you're just not being realistic. So, should we move on to our
You mean move back to our local hero? Yeah, let's give him one more shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Cantrell.
Yes, sir. Tell me, what was your first experience with Justin?
My very first one was he opened the Gusto downtown Boise. He had just put his his half pipe in the building, and it had the roll up glass doors. And Tiamat's, I think we opened the show.
No, we weren't Tiamat's then. I think we were.
We might have been Brutality Through Reality or Nibiru.
Yeah, we were one of those.
We were one of the old bands, but we went through the Gusto and we played. It was right after we played at the Terrapin. We played or was it the Terrapin station or was it JD and Friends at that time?
No, it was the Terrapin.
I think it was the Terrapin, and then we played at the Gusto, and that Gusto show was sick because Justin recorded us.
Mm-hmm.
He recorded our whole set, and he gave it to us.
I was like,
oh, cool. Memorabilia.
I wish I still had that. Maybe I'd do somewhere in the stacks of CDs.
Might be in the void. You never know.
Yep.
A Semolite.
True. Yeah, it's probably about the same time I met him, because Raider introduced us, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Raider knew him because Raider was always in the music scene. Yeah, shout out to Raider.
Raider dude.
He's our dude.
He's our brother.
Yep. So, Justin Cantrell is the owner of the Shredder. He throws amazing shows all the time. If you haven't been to a Shredder show, then you don't know about your local music venue because he is the local music venue. There's other ones, but there's no one doing it quite like this guy. And his venue has a very good little beer bar. It's filled with arcades. Usually
arcade games.
There's usually a skateboard half ramp set up in the back, which is great. So you bring your skateboard and listen to music and play these old video games, and the whole vibe of the place is great. He's really done an awesome thing there. And
I agree. He's very in touch with the metal scene. He's one of us. He's one of us in the local metal group, right? Whereas, for example, other venues, they're not directly linked and tied to us like that. Whereas Justin, I could almost guarantee if Tiamat's messaged or called Justin right now and said, "Hey, Justin, we are ready for an opening show. We'd love to open up for somebody," he would tell us somebody right then and say, "Okay, I got this concert for you guys."
More than likely, he has so many things lined up. He'd be like, "Okay, yeah."
He probably could, yes.
Yeah, yep, and he's like that.
He's always been like that. He's always been so awesome to our band and other bands here on the local scene.
So this week, Justin Cantrell is our local hero. So thank you very much, Cantrell, for all your support over the years. And look forward to jamming at your venue again one of these days.
Well, you want to tell him goodbye? I don't. I'll say, piss off. I'm going to my side project.
So, all right. So before we wrap this up, I'll give you one more good question for our podcast.
Oh, you have a question for me?
I have a question for you. What is your favorite guitar brand and why?
Well, I really, really like my Jacksons. I love the playability of them.
I know this.
I love how they sound.
Mhm.
Even the cheap ones, they
Yeah.
just sound great and play great.
What's your favorite body style?
Oh, definitely the Warlock or the War Beast of the BC Rich. I love the look of BC Rich, right?
Yeah.
I just don't always love how they play. I love your newer ones. Don't get me wrong, right?
Mm.
Your newer ones are great, but the majority of the older ones, I just don't love them.
Didn't
I
like the
don't. I don't
action.
love their playability. I don't love their action on them. Not that they're not a good guitar. It's just Jackson has always fit me as a guitar player better.
Every guitar player has their
Preference,
they know when they pick up the guitar and
It speaks to
and
them.
it feels right,
Yeah.
right. And so now I understand that as a fellow guitar player.
I love Schecter too, though. Don't get me wrong. I played my very first full electric guitar was a Schecter Omen 6 string through body, blue.
Yeah,
Loved it, dude. That thing was a jammer and a screamer. But when it comes down to it, I just love my Jacksons. I have my Warrior, I have my V, and I have my Kelly, right? So it's has a long history to
yeah,
it.
you've had that one forever.
I've had it for a long time now. He gave that to me. I had met you. He brought me over to this garage, and I had met you. And I actually had my Schecter 6 at that time. That's what I was jamming. But Patrick brought me over here. We jammed maybe 2 or 3 times. And then Patrick told me, hanging out with him one day, he told me, he's like, hey, dude, I've had this purple Jackson forever because it was painted purple. And it was all taken apart when he gave it to me. He's like, I got this purple Jackson. I want you to play our first show with it, dude. I was like, okay, sick. So I took it, fully rebuilt it. And I'll get into more of that story later because it has a tie to another hero of ours.
Yep.
But I'd say my Kelly is by far my favorite. I love how it plays.
Good. Right on. As a guitar player, it's important to really know what you like. And any guitar player that's been playing guitar for a long time, you're going to have lots of guitars. Like, how many do you have?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
I can't even count. A lot.
Yeah, I can't even count all mine.
And I just got rid of some.
It would take me a minute to count out all the different guitars and bass guitars.
Let alone instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Now ask how many instruments. Bro, I still don't know. Okay, a lot. What of it?
Yep, that's true.
It's called an investment.
So for me, it's always been about the BC Rich. And I've played many other guitars, and I don't know, there's just something magical about the BC. You know what I think it is? My best friend that I've known since I was probably like 12 years old or something like that. And he had this old BC Rich bronze series, and he lent it to me, because I was, I knew how to play Smoke on the Water and stuff back then, just some simple jams. So he lends me this guitar, and after that I was just like, yeah, I love BC Rich, right? And they have the extreme body shapes, and I've never liked just the simple Strat style, even though some Strats are really cool. Not the Fenders, but the Stratocaster style. It's comfortable in your lap, if you're just sitting down playing. But I like extreme guitars. I like my guitars to be pointy and mean looking. And so BC Rich has always been my jam. And now I got some of the best BC Riches I consider on earth. And I feel very lucky and fortunate to be able to afford them and have them. But I could actually justify it because I feel I'm a good enough guitar player now. I'm not picking up something that's above my skill level, right?
Yep. You don't feel like a poser anymore.
Well,
you're like, I got my chugs down.
For a long time, when you see one of those, a guitar that's just like, the godly guitar, and you're just like, I can't touch that. I'm not good enough to play that. Well, I don't have that problem anymore, right?
Never felt that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was guitars I would be like, no, I'm not even going to disrespect that guitar by trying to play it. But all right, well, anything else on this podcast that we want to talk about?
Not that I know of.
All right, let's wrap this up. So today's date is what? 28th, January 1st of 2025. And so this is podcast number 1 of the Creatures Cortex with Chad and David and Chad.
Carl and Sagan.
Hey, I'll go Sagan. Carl's pretty gnarly too.
Just call me Professor Profanity and
But,
you Dr. Doom.
hopefully we get some listeners, and appreciate anyone that watches episode 1. Episode 1's always rough, so here we are doing it, and hopefully hundreds of shows down the road we could look back at this and be like, man, we really sucked. But look at us now, right? But it all starts with number 1. So here we are, brother. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.